Hello goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes, with this week's pipes and a few other bits. I'm smoking some jarred Solani Silver Flake. It's been jarred for about a year. It's a vapour, if memory recalls, but it's a very light vapour, so heavy on the ve, light on the pur. I didn't like it as much as I liked the 633, but I think both my aging and the tobacco's aging have brought us closer together. I'm quite enjoying it at the moment. It's very pleasing. It's light, but it does have this nice sort of sweet, slightly salty flavour. A good summer smoke, I would say. Now, before we get into the pipes, what am I going to be saying? I'm going to be talking about Netflix. So the reason that I'm doing my video early today, and it is earlier than I would normally be doing it, is because the final part to Stranger Things is airing tonight. I joined the Hellfire Club, and that's going to be 4 solid hours of watching, so it's amazing. We just went back to the beginning, and I've watched it all the way through. Watched the very final episode last night, so we're all ready to go today. If you don't watch Stranger Things, you should be watching Stranger Things. But I have another Netflix recommendation. I was really delighted to see Rowan Atkinson have a new series. It's called Man vs. Bee, and it's just awesome. It's Rowan Atkinson doing what he does, which it just pleases me because I haven't seen him for such a long time, it seems. I did watch some Mr. Bean stuff. Really, I'm a Blackadder fan, I suppose, but this is just perfect. I'm not going to say what it's about. It doesn't need explaining. Man versus bee is literally all you need to know. One other point. 2 weeks ago, I did a poll, both on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, for who was interested in some skull tampers, and I got definitely a bigger response than I was expecting. So I have ordered more skulls. They'll be with me very soon. So I will be whipping up a batch of skull tampers. I don't want to give a time frame just yet. July is going to be a very busy month for me, but I'm going to try and fit them in. I hope. I hope. That's the plan this month sometime. But don't hold me to it. And then I'll do a mass release. I think that's sort of the plan. All right, this week's pipes. 2 finished. One was a commission, and one nearly finished. So sort of 2.5 pipes, let's say. I'll show you the one that I'm working on. That will be done next week. And I've been very lucky this week with the Briar Gods. They have shined benevolently down upon me. Sometimes you can have a rough week with those gods. They're fickle and capricious. Anyway, the first one, Jose asked me, could I produce an Innsmouth strawberry? Which sort of kind of set me thinking. I'd never applied the aesthetic of one pipe to another pipe, if you see what I mean. because the pipe I immediately thought of was the deep one. That's my Innsmouth pipe, if you like. I suppose there's also the Esoteric Order of Dagon pipe, which, if you know the stories, the Esoteric Order of Dagon is in a temple, has a temple in Innsmouth. Church. Maybe church is a better word. Anyway, I tried to transfer the look of a deep one to a strawberry and produced, well, I'll show you. So, you can see it's a sandblast. It's done in an iridescent finish with a mother of pearl stem. The deep one, apart from being sort of deeply riven, would be a word I would choose. It also has this kind of what can you call it? It kind of, to me, it evokes sea urchins and something like coral. So I gave the rim that treatment, and yeah, I quite like it. The shank has been kind of eaten into, but still preserving the flow. Quite a pleasing sandblast. As you can see, the ring grain is really prominent on this one. Still, I wish it's just some briar. Some briar blasts one way and some another. But this one blasted really well. It wanted to be sandblasted. You can see the iridescence, so it's going green over here. And you can see the purple coming out over this side. Actually, I suppose one of the nice things about doing this shape is that you can see, like, where the iridescent keeps catching the light at different angles, giving you the greens in some places and the purples in others. Maybe violet is a better word for that colour. Super interesting. Half saddle stem, as per usual, with my strawberries. And the mother of pearl stem. So, all in all, quite an aquatic piece. That one's going off to Spain. I'm not sure if I've ever sent the pipe to Spain before. If I have, I've completely forgotten about it. All right. Lots to talk about in this one. Boom. All right. It's a Viking horn. that much. So far, so usual. It's the first smooth that I've done in a little while, and certainly the first smooth horn in quite a few moons. I used a stain I've not used before, or rather, I've used it before, not liked it on other pipes, sandblasted it off or sanded it off and used something else. But on this, I thought it would work, and it's a dark chocolate, which is a very different thing from chocolate because the chocolate stain pushes into the red quite a bit. This does not. It's a deep, earthy brown. It doesn't push into the red at all. If anything, I would say it's kind of neutral in that sense. So you got the wonderful grain, straight grain curving with the horn. Just wonderful. I kept a fair amount of plateau on the underside because, well, added interest and wonderfulness. Straight grain flowing down this side as well. And smooth rim. Catching a little bit of straight grain there, but it's kind of flame grain on the rim, so you're not getting straight grain nor the end grain, but something between, so it kind of like flares. And a new stem colour, earth and ivory. This is the first pipe that I've used it on, and I'm in love. The brown is actually clear, the ivory is opaque. If I'd thought, I would have got a torch to show you. In fact, I'm just going to grab one. Weirdly, it looks kind of green in the camera. It's not. It's like a neutral earthy brown. Yeah. And that's the other side. This is still kind of in development. Let's put it like that. But yeah, I'm very pleased with how that came out. You might be seeing some other pipe makers start to use some of my new colours. They are not technically available yet. The way that I develop is that, first of all, I spend a good deal of time doing small tests. And that's to get, with this set, to get the opacities right, to try and get the colours to behave with each other properly, because there's like different densities of pigment going on and it can cause me issues, let's say. But then I need to cast them in full rods to see what's going on when I cast full rods. But quite often there's too many for me to really be able to test them all and to be able to see what's going on in all of them. So the colours have gone out to a handful of UK pipe makers, and I'm getting some feedback on them, and then that will inform the next iteration if I need to make some tweaks. At the moment they're coming out with some quirky things. It's to be expected, but it will mean that I just have a lot of information for the next batch. Speaking of earth and ivory, this is one that I'm making. It's my version of a cutty. It's not finished shaping. This is mostly done, but I'm going to scoop the rim. because there's a lot of flow to the pipe, the stem will get a slight bend in it. And I think a flat rim is just a little, well, flat. The scooped rim really works with the sort of the forward flow of the bowl. And the earth and ivory is looking quite nice. A little more restrained than the version on the horn. The stem for this one came from the very top of the rod, and then this guy came from the second rod down, so you can see how it variates as it goes down the rod. And at some point I'll find out what the stem looks like from the bottom of the rod, and then I'll have all the information. Alright, little insight for you there. Okay, that's it for this week. Yeah, I'll be back next week with this week's pipes. So till then, take it very easy. Your loyal pipe maker.